What's up, everybody? It's Kenny here. Joining me at this time is an individual who's growing to becoming my one of my favorite guests. She's a singer, songwriter from Tennessee. Currently living in Tennessee. I interviewed this lovely lady earlier this year, and she kind of reached out to her brother, like, "Hey, I got more music on the way, so I think we're gonna have to do this interview thing again. So if you up for it," I said, "Bet, let's do it." So joining me back on the show, this is her third interview, her second this year. Miss Rachel Maxann. She's joining me right now. How's it going?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Good to chat with you again.
Yes, it's been too long. I love it. I always love coming on here.
We appreciate having you back on, and we also appreciate the awesome music that you present to us. So, yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
it's only fitting that we keep bringing you back on until you get sick of us. So, uh,
Never.
so you wanted to discuss a couple of things. So I said, let's
Yes.
go ahead and get into it. You recently released your latest single entitled Astral Planes, which at first I thought this was like a new song of yours, but it's actually a cover of a Valerie June song.
Mhm.
And she was your introduction to Memphis when you made the move there. So talk
Yep.
about so let's talk about you recording this song. What made you decide to record this song? Well, this is a two-part question.
Okay.
What got you into being a fan of Valerie June, and what made you decide to record a cover of Astral Planes?
Okay. Yeah. And I'll talk about this later on. But so me and my producer, we had recorded our EP earlier. It just came out last month. So I'll talk about that later. Super excited about it. But as we're having these conversations, turns out we are both huge fans of Valerie June. I first heard about Valerie June when I was still thinking about whether I'd move to Memphis. I was still a little bit undecided. So I decided to get an Airbnb. I was like, okay, I'll just stay there for a few weeks, feel the vibe, see if it's definitely somewhere I want to live, and then, come back and I'll figure it out. While I was in this Airbnb, my Airbnb host, who is just this fabulous woman, one of the most kind, welcoming ladies you'll ever meet. Um, her friend actually is Valerie June, and she was like, she had all these cool little memorabilia and pictures and like even her records up. And she's like, oh my gosh, you haven't heard of Valerie June. You have to listen to her. She's a fabulous woman and she, is a beautiful musician. So, I would just sit in this little pink RV in like the beautiful heat of Memphis and just listen to Valerie June. And when I would go running it, listen to her, and like every song spoke to me. And it's very rarely that I discover a new artist. Well, it's not that she's new, but I guess new to me. And I'm just enthralled with her and her story and the way she sings songs. And so, yeah, I just instantly fell in love. So when it came to wanting to make a cover, it seemed like a no-brainer. I'm like, this is going to be my Memphis cover, and the song Astral Planes itself it's a really beautiful song about just like inner discovery and like finding peace and mindfulness, and so it's just a fantastic song, and I was very pumped to be able to cover it.
So Valerie June, um, because of you, I'm like, you know what? Now that I know that this is a Valerie June song, I got to listen to Valerie June myself. And if
Yeah.
Rachel Maxann likes Valerie June, then chances are I'm going to like Valerie June. And now
Yeah.
I see why you like Valerie June. She's very talented, lovely singing
Hmm.
voice. I mean, I like the name Valerie June. I like
Isn't
June.
it a cool name?
Yeah, it's such a cool name. I like the June part because that's named after my birthday month. So I think I like her by
Oh,
default because of that. And
of course.
she's just an amazing an artist. So I caught the Valerie June bug because of you. It's your fault. I hold you
Oh, I love that.
I hold you responsible, and I hope you don't
I'll
mind
take it.
that at all. And so you said you stay outside of a RV named Pinky. Um, did you came up with that name, or did someone else? I need to get
No.
into that.
So no, that was my Airbnb host Heidi. That was her doing. She has a really cute little trailer. It's all pink, has like just everything you possibly need in it. And actually, the last person who stayed in it before me was Valerie June. So it's one of those full circle things where I'm like listening to Valerie June, where she was, and just it just all came together. So yeah, I'm glad you're a fan now. You caught the June bug.
The June bug. There we go. I mean that will work. The June bug. Yeah, we can work that. Um, so you sent me the YouTube link to the song, and in the video there is a picture, a nice art of yourself
Hmm.
and Valerie staring at each other with the eyes closed. We must give
Hmm.
credit to the individual who put this art together. Who is the lovely
Yes.
individual who put this art together?
So Amy McGovern, she is a lovely friend of mine. She lives here in Memphis. Um, she had put up, I didn't even know she did art, and she had put up a picture of a fox that she had drawn earlier that year, and I was like, "This is amazing! I'm about to put out this single. Would you be interested in doing this for me?" And no hesitation, she's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I gave her kind of like just a basic idea of what I wanted, and then she just hit me with this awesome drawing that I felt like really encompassed everything I wanted from the song. So yes, Amy McGovern. She does. I don't think she has an art website per se, but you can see her art on her like Instagram and stuff like that.
I may need to reach out to Amy because my radio show is having a special day next month and is celebrating the 14-year anniversary. And I am looking for someone that can put a flyer together. So I may have to
You should
put,
definitely hit her up.
yeah, so I may have to put Miss Amy under consideration. See, if she can bring that same artistic feel to this flyer of a milestone show that I'm very excited about. You can check out Astral Planes by Rachel Maxann. It is a Valerie June cover and is actually available on the platforms. So go.
Mhm.
It's on Spotify. It's on some other platforms. Shout out to Doug Walker for composing this cover.
Yes.
Shout out to Daniel
Mhm.
Lynn for the Music Art Studio of Music Art Studio for mixing and mastering this cover. So go if you love yourself some Valerie June, go listen to this cover and
Yes.
you will be very pleased. And I'm kind of glad I'm chatting with you right now as we doing this because earlier on the live show this evening, I did play this song on the radio. I played it on the
Oh,
air.
cool.
So I had to give people a little glimpse and tell the live listeners like you're not going to hear Rachel live, but you will hear her a little bit later on the YouTubes. So go check out Astral Planes by Rachel Maxann. And
Mm-hmm.
after you do that, go listen to some Valerie June. And
Yes.
you go listen to her version and go listen to her catalog. And who knows, you might catch the June bug as well. Um, it's it's harmless. The June bug, don't worry, it ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's good if you're addicted to good music or feel good music. Then you'll like yourself some Valerie June and some Rachel Maxann, and you'll be very pleased with what you hear. So, Rachel, um, let's talk about your new. So, this is pretty much your appetizer for what's to come with your new EP. Uh, so, how's that coming along? How you feeling about this body of work that you've been working on? And as far as what direction are you going with this new EP?
I love that you asked that. So with this EP, I'm very happy. It just came out finally. I literally felt like it was a year that I was working on it, but it just came out on the 15th. And with this, it's a lot more. It's a lot more instrumental. It's a lot more like, for lack of better words, kind of symphonic. It's like this mix between like Inya and like Florence and the Machine, and there's lots of bigger sounds. Where normally I might just stick with like a rock band or maybe even myself an acoustic guitar. This is something I've never done before. So the EP is called Belonging to Forever. It has Goddess, Breathe, and Unyielding Boundaries. And really with this, after a year of isolation and kind of being stuck inside and, struggling with not just creating music, but keeping up mental health, I just wanted to come out with something very positive and uplifting and, unlike my normal kind of breakup songs or like happy go lucky songs, this is almost more of a spiritual vibe.
Mm-hmm. Belonging to Forever. It's the name of the EP. Three
Mm-hmm.
songs. That's also available on all the platforms as well.
Mm-hmm.
So go check that out and give that a listen. And who knows, you might be hearing some more of Rachel Maxann on the Chillin' Show in the coming weeks or so. Now, this is
Yeah.
such a beautiful body of work that you've been putting on. You the last time I interviewed you, you was doing virtual shows, and so as far as performance wise, as we in the summer already, um, as far as show wise, how's that coming along? As far as you booking shows, how's that working?
Yeah, really well. I really just started booking in the last couple weeks, and I have a show July 30th. It's going to be at the Green Room here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to be joined by the lovely Oak Walker. And yeah, I'm really, really excited. I will be doing a lot of, songs from my EP, the three songs from the EP, I guess. And then, like, past albums, Fickle Hellcat, Cotton Tree, things like that. So I'm really excited. I love the people that I'm playing with, good friends of mine here in Memphis. So it feels like I'm coming back after it's been so long. So yeah, I am ready and I'm starting to play live shows again. And before I know it, I'm sure I'll be looking at touring. I do have I know I'm going to be coming back to Ohio in September. I'll be doing a couple shows there. So it's starting to book up again, and it's a beautiful and wild feeling.
And so that's awesome. And, That is what a lot of musicians are feeling these days after
Mhm.
2020, when the music
Yeah.
industry literally got shut down for obvious reasons. And a lot has happened in between with the pandemic and the social unrest and just a polarizing year that none of us is ever going to forget. Now, with
Yeah.
music, it could help people through trying times, and I feel like that's what music is is what's known for. It's what it's always going to be, and just listening to your music during this pandemic has helped me out a bit. Just
No.
keeping my head up and everything. And you
Good.
mentioned mental health a little bit earlier. Yeah, it's even with things are back up and running, and you're getting some semblance of normalcy. There's still people going through mental health issues, and it's very important to to check on your strong friends. Check on them every now and then, and make sure they're doing okay, doing all right. So
Yeah.
it's
No, absolutely.
if, from your perspective as a musician and as a person, you having friends that's going through mental health every now and then, how important it is, for mental health from your perspective, given what we all been through last year and how things are looking now. How important mental health is to you, not just as a musician, but as a person.
Well, honestly, I I definitely believe in the power of therapy and self care and taking care of yourself. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I am
Mm.
actually finishing my last quarter of my uh, master's for graduate school in psychology. So I will be earning my master's and soon to be LMFT and all that. So, and who knows, maybe next time we talk, I'll actually be a therapist.
Ooh.
So, you know, therapy and stuff like that has always played an important, part of my life. And, uh, like you were saying, there was such a toll on mental health this year, and it was hard to, socialize and those connections and interactions. And even now, coming back into, society as a whole, people are feeling, a lot of anxiety around that. So I think more than ever, it's so important to like check on yourself, check on your friends, family. Like people are coping with this in different ways. And even though it's come toward the end, there was so much damage done. So there's going to be a lot of trauma to work through. I think for years to come, honestly, so much stuff happened, more than just staying inside. People lost their homes, their family members, their jobs, like financial security, all of these things. And we also experienced a collective trauma. Um, so yeah, short answer, mental health, very important for all types. Part of my coping and self care is to make music, is to continue to write and at some point perform. And if I can help other people's mental health with my music, that is just a huge blessing to me and to them. So yeah, as a musician, I just love it.
Hearing you talk and you talk about your masters and being a therapist, um, I could see Rachel Maxann with the nice white robe on, having that appointment with someone, and it's be like, hey, you definitely are a people's person. You definitely are a listener. Obviously, you listen to these people and just get a feel of who they are as people and what they're going through. So, good for you getting that degree. You know, even
Thank you.
with the passion that is music is also a reminder. Education, that's important. That's a big deal. Just stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Yeah, stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Men, women, grown ups, whatever your age is, just keep that education in mind. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're never too
Uh,
old to learn.
yeah, yeah. Belonging to Forever from Rachel Maxann. That's her 3-song EP. It's available on all digital music platforms, and you can also listen to her cover of Valerie June's song Astral Planes. That's also on the platforms as well. I want to talk about one of the songs on the EP. Now you got Goodest,
Hmm.
you got Unyielding Boundaries, and you have
Unyielding boundaries. Yep.
yeah, and then you
It's a
have
mouthful.
Breathe. Um, I want to talk about the track Breathe. Um,
Okay.
something. So talk about writing that song. As far as what was it like writing that song, and is it based on like your experience or someone else experience? Talk about the process writing this song.
Okay, yeah. So this song, I wrote it quite a while ago, and it's kind of been reworked in a couple of different ways. I used to play it just acoustically, and I love doing that, of course. And then I kind of worked with a different producer to make an electronic song out of it, which was good, and I liked it a lot. But I feel it didn't quite evoke the emotions that I wanted to pull from it. Um, so when I brought it to Doug, and this is that beginning where we were just kind of meeting and figuring out what we want to do. He's like, this song, we can do so much with it to really like hit home the point. But going back to when I actually wrote it, this was kind of, this was kind of an emotional experience where I was feeling a lot of loss, feeling a lot of confusion about myself. I think I was still in my 20s. So, that fun time period where you're just still kind of figuring yourself out. I compare the idea of like loving someone almost like a drug, where you're like, you can get hurt by this, like not only them, but for you, and the confusion that goes with it. So, of the songs, this would probably be one of the more emotionally kind of breakup-y songs. It's not necessarily about a breakup so much as the devastation, loss, and gain of love. Um, so I'm so glad that, I found Doug and he found me, and, he was able to finally turn this song, into, what I really meant it to be, like the whole time.
This is such an incredible interview that I have enjoyed chatting with you, getting caught up with you.
Hmm.
Rachel was saying this might be a quarterly thing. Like once every few months, I just have you back on the show and talk music and
Yay!
therapy and
Yes.
all sorts of things. So
Hmm.
you got some show coming up in late July. Going to be back in Ohio in September, and you got
Hmm.
this 3-song EP out, and you got the cover of Valerie June, um, Astral Planes, that is out. And for
Yep.
more info on Rachel, you can go to her website at rachelmazann.com. That is MAN X as in Malcolm X ANN, and it's got all her music on there. It's got the social media links. It's got information about her upcomings and getting into music. And so if you a late bloomer to Rachel Maxann, get to know Rachel a bit, through the website,
Yes.
and
Check out Rachel
just
Maxann. Do it.
and while you're at it, go stream her music, go purchase it. It is encouraging to see live music back up and running, especially with independent, unsigned artists getting back to perform again. So
Mhm.
if they got merch, um, buy it if you can. If they got the tip bottle or a tip on their guitar stand or whatever they use for tips. Just be a helping hand if you can. Rachel, it is a pleasure of chatting with you. Thank you so much for wanting to do another interview, and because of you, I'm going to be listening to some Valerie June in the weekend.
Yeah, get the June bug.
Get the June bug. We might make that a hashtag June bug, and I hope if somehow Valerie is aware of this, she doesn't get freaked out by the June bug and just look at it as something positive. Who
Yes.
knows? That might be her fan base name, Junebug. Um, just,
I think it could be.
just saying. I think the only thing left for us is to meet each other um, down the road. Now, I've been to Tennessee before, mostly
Hmm.
Knoxville. I've been to Memphis. I
Okay.
haven't been to Nashville before, but I definitely want to go to Memphis. I'm a BB King head.
Yes.
He's a fellow Mississippi native like myself, so I like to go in there and get some history lesson in Memphis. And I live in Kentucky, so it's not that far off. And I
Not
used to
that
live
far.
in
It's really not.
yeah, and I used to live in Ohio. I got Ohio friends and family members there, so September things get a lot more comfortable here and there. Who knows? I might make the trip there too. We'll see. We'll see.
You
Um,
should.
but
Yes.
Rachel, thank you so much for your
My
time.
pleasure.
Pleasure chatting with you. I know I said we was going to do 15, 20 minutes, but we went damn near half an hour.
Ah, whoops. Oh well, editing.
No, I mean, no, this is good. I mean, this has been so good. Ain't no point of editing. I think I enjoyed everything from start to finish. I think we got
Yay!
everything addressed. So go listen to the interview. Go listen to the music. Belonging to Forever EP out on all the platforms. Astral Planes, a Valerie June cover. That's also on the platforms as well. So go listen to Rachel Maxann and go listen to Valerie June. We're just going to promote her, even though she don't know who we are yet. Uh,
Yeah.
so continue success, Rachel, and be safe. And thanks again for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a
Uh,
great night.
all right, thank you all for tuning in. Check out the show Thursdays and Saturdays, 8 to 9 p.m. on TMV Cafe, and chat with you some other time.